Fall has officially arrived, and that means it's time for cozy dinner dates. In this video, I'll show you a 5-part dinner that not only keeps you warm and full, but will definitely impress your partner. Let's start with a little afternoon pick-me-up to get us energized for the evening. A delicious pumpkin spice latte you can easily make at home. First, we need to prepare a pumpkin spice syrup. This will be enough for multiple lattes, so you can treat yourself anytime you need a little burst of energy. In a saucepan, combine the sugar and water, then gently bring it to a simmer over medium heat. Once the sugar dissolves, add your pumpkin puree and spices. Let it simmer for about 20 minutes to really infuse those flavors. Strain your liquid through a cheesecloth or coffee filter and we're set. Whatever syrup you don't use right away, you can store in the fridge for at least a week. To build your latte, heat your milk to about 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit and use a milk frother to, froth your milk. Add 3 tablespoons of your syrup to a mug and pour in a shot of your favorite espresso. Give it a good stir, then fill up your cup with your frothed milk. As an optional garnish, you can whip up some heavy cream, but I'd recommend to wait until the latte has cooled down a bit. Otherwise, this happens. But hey, it's all about the taste, not the looks, right? Finish with a sprinkle of pumpkin pie spice, and there you have it. An amazing, energizing fall treat that tastes just as good as any cafe version for a fraction of the cost. For our starter, we'll make a silky pumpkin velouté. Warm, smooth, and full of fall flavor. We're keeping it relatively simple with the ingredients, to really let that pumpkin shine. Let's start by roasting some garlic. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a whole head of garlic and peel off the outer papery layer. Cut off the top, add a drizzle of olive oil, season with salt and pepper, and tightly wrap it in aluminum foil. Let it roast in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. This should turn your garlic into a golden brown, sweet umami bomb you can use in pretty much anything. As your kitchen fills with that incredible roasted garlic aroma, let's prep our pumpkin. Cut it in half and remove all the seeds and stringy bits. Make sure you don't throw away the seeds, we will need them later again. Carefully peel the thick outer skin of the pumpkin and cut it into small cubes. Wash your pumpkin seeds and remove any remaining bits. Pat them dry using a kitchen towel. Once your garlic is nicely roasted, turn the heat down to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Toss your seeds with a splash of oil and your seasoning of choice. I'm using some salt, garlic powder, paprika, and black pepper. Spread them on a baking tray and roast for about 15 minutes until they're toasted and crunchy. Make sure to toss them every now and then to ensure even browning. In the meantime, add your butter to a pan over low to medium heat. Once foaming, add your diced pumpkin and cook gently until soft and tender. Pour in the chicken stock and bring to a boil. Remove from the heat and very carefully transfer everything to a blender, along with your roasted garlic and Parmesan cheese. Blend until smooth, then strain through a fine sieve for that silky finish. Season with salt and pepper and keep it warm until serving. For garnish, gently heat up some coconut milk over low heat and froth it up. When serving your soup, add a dollop of the coconut foam along with your toasted seeds and a drizzle of olive oil to really bring this dish together. And there you go, a velvety, warming pumpkin soup to start the evening. Now for the star of the evening, a beautiful crispy duck breast served with a luxurious parsnip cauliflower puree and a rich red wine jus. It may look like a restaurant dish, but it's made with surprisingly simple ingredients. If you're vegan, you can easily swap the duck for a big oyster mushroom. Let's start with our puree. Peel your parsnips, then chop them into small pieces and repeat the same with the cauliflower. Boil them in salted water for 10 to 12 minutes until tender. Drain and transfer to a blender, along with the olive oil, lemon juice, and roasted garlic. Blend until smooth and season to taste. Optionally, you can pass the puree through a relatively fine sieve for an extra smooth and velvety consistency. Then finely chop your rosemary and stir it in the puree for that cozy, earthy aroma. Next, we move on to the duck. Lightly score the skin in a diamond pattern to help the fat render more easily. Place the duck skin side down in a dry, cold pan and season with salt. Turn the heat to medium and sear until the skin is golden brown and crispy. In the meantime, finely dice your shallots. Once the skin is crispy and the duck is 90% cooked through, turn the heat to low. Flip it to briefly sear the other side for about 30 seconds to a minute. For a perfect medium rare, aim for an internal temperature of 56 degrees Celsius or 133 degrees Fahrenheit. Take it off the heat a couple degrees earlier and let it come up to temperature while resting. While the duck is resting, in the same pan add finely diced shallots and cook until translucent. Sprinkle in a bit of sugar to caramelize, then deglaze with red wine and balsamic vinegar. Let it simmer for a few minutes before adding chicken stock, thyme, lemon zest and your spices. Reduce by half, then stir in a knob of butter to finish. After a final seasoning check, we are ready to serve. Silky puree, crispy duck and a glossy aromatic choux. A restaurant quality main dish that's perfect for a cozy fall dinner. To end our meal, let's make a classic, an apple tart tatin with a dollop of crème fraîche. It's simple, comforting and a classic for a reason. Preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius or 430 degrees Fahrenheit and line a 24 cm or 9.5 inch Tarte tin with baking paper. Peel your apples and cut each into 6 even wedges. Sprinkle your sugar evenly over the base of the tin, then place it in the oven until it turns golden and caramelized. Remove from the oven and add your butter cubes to the caramel. Arrange the apples neatly in a circular pattern. Please be very careful when doing this. Hot caramel is very hot. Bake for about 20 minutes on the middle rack of your oven. Stab your puff pastry repeatedly with a fork before carefully adding it on top of the apples. Use a spoon to press down the edge of the dough so that everything is nicely tucked in. Bake for another 15 minutes until the pastry is golden and puffed. While still warm, carefully invert the tart onto your cutting board and serve with a dollop of crème fraîche and a sprinkle of cinnamon. And there you have it, a wonderfully indulgent way to end the meal. And finally, a perfect nightcap to sip on while curled up on the couch. Mulled apple cider. I'm using alcoholic cider, but the recipe works just as well with non-alcoholic. Feel free to use your favorite spices and flavor add-ons, but for me this combination worked really well. Start by adding your cider to a pot and gently warm it over medium-low heat. Slice your orange into nice rounds and peel off a few strips of lemon zest. Carefully slice your vanilla pod lengthwise and scrape out the seeds. Add them to the cider along with the pod, orange slices, lemon zest and all your remaining ingredients. Cover and let simmer for 45 minutes to an hour. Generally, the longer it simmers, the deeper and stronger the flavor becomes. However, the scent that fills your room in the process makes it almost impossible to resist and wait that long. Optionally, if you want to make your cider a bit more boozy, you can add a splash of spiced rum right before serving. And that's it! A cozy aromatic drink that guarantees a warm belly and a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite fall dishes are. I'll see you soon and until then, a guete!